Bam! And we're back. Welcome to today's video. My name is Chris. I'm a creative entrepreneur. And in today's video, I'm going to talk to you about the past 75 days I've been posting to YouTube and I've learned so much. And not only that, I've seen growth from my channel to my social medias to myself. And most importantly, to myself. I did this journey probably like you are. If you're watching this video, you might be like trying to how do you get out there and, get on YouTube and do your thing? And what does it take? What's the formula? And you could be thinking of all these things of how to perfect it when it just comes down to simply doing it. Over the past 75 days, I'd say the first most important thing I've learned is just do it. The distance between starting something and achieving it is the bulk of it, but I think that the main thing that people get stuck on is over planning and over figuring out how to do something very simple. When you think about it, in the essence of it, you're uploading content to the internet, and all you got to do is talk about what is important to you or what you're going through and share with people the whole experience, right? It's kind of the story arc I've talked about of you're set off here. That's when you're I want to start this, and you share that with people. And then as you go on your journey, you're going to be wow, I didn't know all these challenges would show up for the 75-day challenge. Let me tell you, after about 15 days, I was I don't know what we're going to create content on. And then it became a lot more authentic. And then that would be the climax. And then my content became really authentic. I started sharing whatever I wanted to and didn't really have a plan, but had a structure of how to structure it and present it to people and share it to hopefully inspire them and help them understand that they're not alone. Dude, we're all struggling out here. It's just who voices it, right? And that's a big connecting piece with an audience. It's just sharing your vulnerabilities, but doing it authentically and not from a side of the victim, but more or less of here's what I'm going through and here's what I hope to learn. And if you're going through it too, I'd love to hear your side because dude, it connects the dots. And then at the end, you're we did it, But a lot of people get stuck on that, they don't start because they're over planning. And I think I've completely let go of the perfectionist. I used to have this such perfectionist mindset where I was the audio's got to be perfect, the color grade's got to be perfect, the video, autofocus was rack, and that would just be a reason not to post a video. I had all these reasons not to post videos, and I had about 2 reasons to post a video because the shots were dope and the color was dope. But essentially this has taught me too, with that being said, it's storyline, narrative, hook, hooking people, telling them what's going to be in the video, but also leaving the door open for some stuff to expand on its own, but then bring it back. I'd say that's number 2 is really understanding that there is a structure to YouTube, but also not letting the structure control what you create, if that makes sense. Because I think some of the highest viewed videos that I've done on this channel have been just on the fly sharing stuff versus some of the ones that I was really proud and put out there and was this is dope, this is structured, this is gonna slap, nothing. And it had the most value, which I think has completely kind of blown my mind. But I'd say the third thing that's really happened through this whole 75-day YouTube challenge is I am so detached from the views. I don't care if I put out a banger that gets 10 views and I put out the shittiest video that gets 5,000 views. I'm just creating for the essence of creating, which let me tell you, if you're a creative, this is one of the best feelings ever. It feels like I'm back where I started my entrepreneurial journey of just creating content and having dude, I didn't go to film school. I didn't go to, I didn't take a photo class. I just picked up a camera and said, I'm doing this. This is dope. And I learned. And I think that, along with what I've done, has been so insightful because there is a structure to how you can shoot videos and all this stuff. And there's all these rules. But I think some of the most creatives just pick it up and learn. They don't, we're the ones who are we don't have to go to class to learn how to use a camera. The camera is just me sharing my perception and what I see the world or how I see the world with other people. That's it. And then storytelling is just how I want to share those moments with people so that they can experience it too, And then if you apply this back to the whole YouTube thing, it's there's a certain way in the YouTube style and creators, and that's a pocket. But then there's also these people who just get on and share comfort content. And even what I've seen is sometimes the comfort content has more value than the value-based content that the creators are making, because you get the value-based people who are over here sharing comfort and support and a journey and storytelling, and just letting you have it as it is, and they're not trying to drag it out and get views, and it feels so authentic and true and relatable. And then you have these people over here who are here's my 3-step method that should take 1 minute. However, to get the max view time of this video, we're going to stretch it out, and I'm going to continually hook you and pull you in on the content. And it's like, wow, I feel like I'm endlessly being sold to. Like, I obviously came here to get some value, but I would appreciate more of the value of being direct and honest with the content, and then I continually come back and watch more. Like, for instance, like James Smith, dude's channel is insane. Like, he's authentic, he's straight to the point, and he just delivers value after value after value, and it's just like, wow. And then these other cats, I'm just like, wow, I feel like I'm in a fucking lecture hall, you know? And that's like what I'm getting at with this content too, is like, I don't want my content to be, today we're going to talk about the, no, like, absolutely not. I'm loosey-goosey, but the moves are tight. So it's like this video, like, you know, how can we have a conversation about my 75-day YouTube challenge and what I've learned? And, you know, and I think that's the next point we should even bring up is, I think this would be point 3 or 4, is essentially like, just approach it with your own essence, with your own being. Like, the more real you can be to the camera, the more the camera's going to capture that essence and people are going to feel it. And then along the way, like, identify what your structure is or what your flow is. Like, mine's been pretty easy of like hook, topic, 3 talking points, summary, wrap it up, close it out, done. And that's very like rinse and repeatable, right? And it might not be the best method to go viral, but, you know, like, if anything, I'm just getting comfortable with talking on camera. And then I'd say like this is the last point, we'll go 5 today. The last one I've learned is like, I'm so good on the fly now. Like, I used to have to like almost like to create marketing videos for stuff, like even like Weekender or something would be like, all right, today, and I'd stress about it, is like, I gotta get up and I gotta script this video and we gotta get it perfect. See the word perfection coming back in? And then I would script out the video, and then I'd get like so frustrated with it, I'd just be like, oh, screw it, let's just start filming. And then I'd start filming, and I would have some really good takes and some really awful takes. And then I'd follow the script, and I wouldn't follow the script, and then I'd get done with it, and I'd be like, oh, the video's like 2 shots away from perfect. And then I'd either abandon it or go back and shoot it and put more time into it, and then I'd upload it, and it'd get like 50 views, and I'd be like, fuck. And if you think about this whole thing that I've just like said to you, as a good wrap up here, it's like, I don't care about any of that anymore. Like, you know, I minimally script just to get the simple structure, the hook, the title, the talking points, the summary. I know what I'm going to talk about, and I allow myself the space to kind of like, not ramble, but essentially expand on the topics as it comes in intuitively. So it's more like a conversation. The videos don't have to be perfect. None of these videos have been perfect, not even the thumbnails. Like, I've just been using the thumbnails, which has been great because I think it's an important part, but I also have seen the style of content I'm creating relates to a lower quality thumbnail. And then imperfection, like, I'm not perfected in any of this process anymore. And in that imperfection, I'm like, well, this is a great video. It would be better if we did this, but next time we'll do that. Like, it's good enough. You know, that imperfection has been nice. I think a lot of creators and myself put so much stress on ourselves because we hold our standards so high versus like, I'm not creating this for another videographer. Like, they don't care about my frame rate, you know? The color grade, like, I'm not dropping this as a Hollywood video. Like, why does the color grade matter, you know? Like, all these things that I took so much pride in have gone away, and I'm focused more on, like, the value, the storyline, the connection, the relationship, like, the quality of what I'm saying, like, the value of somebody could listen to this and how much would it change their life. Like, that's what matters now, not the views, not the color grade, not the quality. Like, I'm a little I like nice quality and nice colors, but you know what I mean? It's not as important as it was. Now it's like, let's get the value, let's get the quality, let's get the content, let's change some lives, let's put out some real shit. Let's speak our heart into the camera, like, you know, and in doing that, the views don't matter anymore. The last one, the views don't matter because it's not, the intention would be to get tons of views from this content, but I think that happens as a reciprocal of A, not wanting it, and B, just putting out the truest content through a period of low views. And it's been wild. The funniest thing about this YouTube challenge is like there's been spikes in the content, like out of the nowhere, like 2 weeks in, just had one video take off, dropped out of nowhere. And then 2 weeks later, had another one take off, dropped out of nowhere. And there's been spurts of tons of views, and then they followed with just like dead zones. And it's quite strange. But it's also been like, I remember both those spikes, I was like, yes, let's go, it's happening. And then I was like, oh, so let down. And then it was like after twice, I was like, well, let's not put ourselves through that again. Like, if one takes off, like, that's dope, but let's keep going. So honestly, I haven't been looking at the views, or more or less like I'll check a video to see how it's doing, but more or less like so detached from the views. And it's so nice because like I said at the beginning of this video, I'm just like creating again. I'm sharing. I'm just like literally like decompressing my mind of everything that I've learned that I need a clear space to learn more with. But also I'm like, instead of just throwing this out, like let's share this with other people, because my biggest intention in creating this channel and doing this stuff was too, like, I wish I would have found somebody like me who wasn't like 6, 7 years, 8, 10, 12 years ahead of me trying to do what I'm doing. I wanted to find somebody just ahead of me, which I did as a mentor of mine who I work with still. But, somebody who was like slightly ahead of me that was still relatable and wasn't so far ahead that I felt like I was chasing them. It's like, oh, okay, like that's where we're going next. Good. To have that anchor point is so important, I think, on the journey. So if anybody here is, maybe like 3 to 5 years in entrepreneurship or in their journey, maybe this content's relating with you. And I'm like the person who's slightly ahead of you, but also like, here's a golden nugget. Like, I love that shit because I hate obstacles and challenges. And man, I've been met with a lot of them. And if you have too, like, I get it. But they're also like, they make you the person that you need to become to be the person that you want to be. So, that's a whole nother video before we go off on a tangent. So yeah, just start a 75-day YouTube challenge. It is so fulfilling. I mean, you'll learn so much, and you'll learn the parts of you that you think you're creating authentically and you're not. And through the process, you're going to create the most authentic content you've ever created. You're also going to start to build an audience. You're going to start to connect with people on a different level. And then you're going to find your new purpose, your new reason, or even like for me, I found my ikigai. I just love talking to camera every day. It's cool, like, I would share all this with people who don't want to listen, and then I can put it out there to people who want to listen, and they do, and that's dope as shit. So figure out your thing. Start your channel. Just start creating content. People will friggin' love it, or they'll tell you what they like, they'll tell you what you dislike, and if you do more of what they like and what you like and compound those things, boy, you're gonna blow up. All right, y'all. Have a good day. Peace out.